Good morning everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today is my first day of work back after the holiday. I will have to start working at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is in about 6 hours time. So time is left to do one more video. And today I want to talk about two things. First is the draft lottery, and second then will be the Champions of Europe, the congratulations video. As the IIHF Hockey World Championship is approaching, it will start, I think, in 2 or 3 days, something like that. And yeah, all the European leagues are done, of course, prior to the World Championship. And I want to mention all the champions of Europe. But first, some thoughts about the draft lottery. This is, of course, the Blackhawks jersey. The Blackhawks were 30th in the standing, ended up with the number 1 draft pick. The bottom 3 teams in the standing ended up getting the top 3 draft picks. Everything else unchanged in the form of the standing, converted to the draft lottery. So 4th in the standing from the bottom got the 4th pick, the 6th got the 6th pick, and so on. Was this fair? Was this fine? Some people already asked me, what do you think about the draft lottery? What do you think about the Blackhawks getting Connor Bedard? And I have to say, yeah, the Blackhawks had Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane in their prime. They drafted both of these players. But it was not only these 2 players that gave them 3 Stanley Cups. They built an excellent team around it. They did a fantastic job, especially with Joel Quenneville, and I don't know who was the general manager at this time. They did a fantastic job on building a great team. It was not only these 2 players. They did a lot more than that. And yeah, now they will get Connor Bedard. Their standing was, okay, they were 3rd in the overall standing, 2016-2017. They dropped then 2017-2018 down to 25. So far out of the playoffs. 18-19, they ended up 20th. 19-20, 23rd. They only made it to the playoffs this year because of the expanded playoffs and the bubble playoffs. 2020-2021, they ended up 21st. Last year, 21-22, ended up 27th. And as mentioned, this year, they fell down to 30th. So they were not good and not competitive and definitely not a contender for quite a while. And they are in a rebuild. And with a little bit of luck, they got the 1st overall pick. And did they deserve it? It's discussion worthy, yeah. But I think, yeah, why not? Luck is involved, of course. It's a lottery. But yeah, the Blackhawks won. So why shouldn't they be worth drafting first? They were pretty bad. They were tearing everything down. That's the way to get a top draft pick. They tanked, yeah, sure, but that's the way it goes. So complaining doesn't make any sense anyway. This is the way the system worked, and I think the system got more fair with teams can only jump up by 10 spots, and the odds are pretty slim. Yeah, of course, the Vancouver Canucks, 1 number in the 4th drawing more, and the Canucks would have drafted first, which I think would have been not a scandal, but not as fair as the Blackhawks that were 30th in the standing drafting first. Okay, so far about the draft lottery. We will have a great draft. There are some really, really good players, not only Bedard and Fantilli, but a lot of the others that are really, really good. This is a deep draft, and I think the top 20 picks should all be able to make the league, not this year, but next year. This will be a pretty good draft class. Anyway, okay, so far about the draft lottery. Now let me change my jersey and then let's talk about the Champions of Europe. So you saw me unboxing this jersey. This is the Tampere Champions Hockey League jersey. My Jori Lehtera, who once played for the Philadelphia Flyers in the NHL. Now he's back home after spending some time in the KHL. He's back in Liga, back with Tampere. And yeah, there's a reason, of course, me wearing the Tampere jersey. So let's get into the board and have a look why. The Champions of Europe. Let's start at the bottom. The CHL, the Champions Hockey League. 32 teams start this league. They go in groups of 4, play each other twice. The top 2 of each division then make it into the next round. This is, yeah, it's a nice tournament. It's a little bit of an exhibition tournament. And really great games are played because they are not as important as plays in the regular leagues. The CHL was in the end won by Tappara Tampere in the final over Luleå. This is not a series, it's just one game, and Tappara Tampere won it 3-2 to become the CHL, the Champions Hockey League champions. And starting from now, I already have to apologize for butchering some of these names, especially when we come to Extraliga in the Czech Republic and to Sweden. Let's start in Extraliga Slovakia, so I go from bottom to top. In Slovakia, Košice won the series. They won the championship by beating Zvolen in this best of 7 series 4-1. Košice won the regular season. Zvolen was third. Congratulations to Košice being the champions of Extraliga Slovakia. Now the name butchering will start. I'm very sorry. Extraliga in the Czech Republic. Okleana Trnec, totally butchered. I'm very sorry for that. Who were 6th in the standing of the Extraliga. They won the championship by beating Mountfield, who ended up 4th in the regular season, in the final in 6 games. Congratulations, Okleana Trnec and the Czech Republic. I thought about putting this in the end I did it. The KHL in Russia and surroundings. Yeah, there are not only teams from Russia, there's one from Belarus. There used to be a team from Latvia and one from Finland. They are both out. And the team that's supposed to play in China is now playing in Moscow. But yeah, they are still playing in the KHL. In the end, the champions were the Red Army, CSKA Moscow, who were 2nd in the standing in the Western Conference behind SKA, so the other Red Army club. In the final, they beat Bars Kazan, who had Alexander Radulov on their team. He didn't help after being 1st in the Eastern Conference in the regular season. They lost to CSKA Moscow in 7. It was a great series. I saw the highlights of, I think, 3 or 4 of these games. They played pretty good altogether. It was a fun series. In the end, the Red Army won and became the KHL champions. They won the Gagarin Cup. Let's jump to Switzerland, the Nationalliga A, National League A. In the end, it was a final between the top seed Genève, against Biel, who ended up 2nd in the regular season, and Genf won it in 7. It was a hard-fought series. It was a lot of fun, and Genf ended up on top by winning Game 7 with a score of 4-1. Congratulations to Genf for becoming the champions of Switzerland. Then we go to Liga, which is in Finland. Tappara Tampere, who won the Champions Hockey League, also won Liga in Finland. They were 1st in the standing, in the overall standings, and they beat Lahti, who were 4th in the overall standings, in the final 4-1 in 5 games. So now the butchering will continue. SHL in Sweden. The Växjö Lakers, who were 1st in the standings, beat Skellefteå, who were 2nd. In the final in 5 games. Interesting, 2 Landshut guys were on this team. Skellefteå had Tom Kühnhackl. Växjö had Tobi Rieder. Kühnhackl, who will come back to Germany next year on the losing team. Tobi Rieder, my Landshut boy, on the winning team. Congratulations to Tobi and the Växjö Lakers for winning the SHL. And then I have both German leagues here on the board, because in the DEL, which is the top league, they introduced relegation, and in the DEL2, accordingly, they included promotion. But you can only get promoted from the DEL2 to the DEL if you have a stadium that has the right capacity. So the minimum is 4,000, and also the economical stuff has to be right. That's why my hometown team, the EV Landshut, would not have been able to get promoted because of the economical situation. And the team that won the DEL2, in the end, it was Ravensburg, who were 2nd in the standing. They beat Bad Nauheim, who were 6th in 5 games, 4-1 the final score. And Ravensburg is also not able to be promoted to the DEL because their stadium is too small. Economically, they are good, but a stadium of only 3,500 people, that's not enough for the DEL, so they have to stay down in the DEL too. Only 3 teams that were Dresden, Krefeld and Kassel, they would have been able to be promoted. None of them made it to the final. Kassel, who were the clear-cut favorite, they won the regular season with a difference of more than 30 points to the second place team Ravensburg. And they didn't make it through the playoffs. Hello Boston, hello Kassel. Then in the DEL, the first German league, the champions are Red Bull München, so my local team, Red Bull Munich. I'm not a fan of them because I'm from Landshut and we cannot support Munich. And they became the champion. They were first in the standings and they beat Ingolstadt, who were second in the final, also in 5 games, 4-1. So congratulations to all the champions of Europe, to Red Bull München, to Ravensburg, to Växjö, to Tappara Tampere, to Genève, CSK Moscow, Oklana Trnec and to Košice for the winning the national championship, and of course to Tappara for winning the CHL. Alright, that's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And let me know your thoughts about the Champions of Europe and of course the draft lottery in the comments below. Thanks again. Have a good time. Goodbye.